The music has stopped. You know what that means. It's time to start learning about SharePoint. Hello, SharePoint fans. How's everybody doing? That's right. It's 4:30. It's 4:30, right? Yes, 4:30. Those happy hour drinks, they're so close you can practically taste them. We're going to keep this fun, energetic. Thank you all for coming. You guys are our most loyal fans being here at 4:30, so thank you very much. I'm Lincoln Damaris. I'm a program manager on the SharePoint Team Sites team.
And I'm Ethan Lexington. I lead the data science team for SharePoint and OneDrive.
We're going to give you some great tips for how to make the most out of SharePoint. Sound good? So before we get into the tips, let's paint a picture of the productivity ecosystem and what we're talking about today. So this is a team site session. We're going to spend most of our time, pretty much all the time, talking about stuff related to team sites. But we give you 3 places to work, 3 places to put your stuff in Office 365. And we're going to talk about kind of the differences between them for a little bit, because we get asked this stuff a lot. So first of all, there's OneDrive. OneDrive is for your stuff. Everything that you put in OneDrive, private by default. Of course, you can share it with whoever you want, but stuff in OneDrive is your stuff, right? So team sites, that's what we're talking about today. Team sites are for your team stuff. So getting work done together as a team, right? And so third is communication sites. Communication sites are less about getting work done and more about showcasing finished content, high quality content, and broadcasting that to an extended set of stakeholders. So the stuff that we're gonna talk about today, getting the most out of SharePoint, we're telling you how to get the most out of SharePoint team sites and really how to work in a group of people most effectively. So have you ever been asked by one of your users, or in fact, have you ever asked the question, what do I use? Do I put stuff in a team site or do I put stuff in a OneDrive? Has anybody ever grappled with that question? You guys, okay, good, okay. A few honest hands. You guys maybe are a little bit smarter than average. It's good. So, this is just a really quick way of explaining that landscape. We're showing these slides a few times. I think they're really good. In case you ever have anybody ask about team sites versus OneDrive, point them to these slides. So every person, if you're a person, you have a OneDrive, right? I'm a person. Last time I checked, I have a OneDrive. Every team has a library, right? So when you create a team site, when you form a set of people together called a team, that team gets a library. And so the only complicated thing is that OneDrive is not only a place for files, but it's also an app. So if you work with files, whether you're actually working inside a team site or you're working inside a team chat, OneDrive is an app that connects you to all your files across Office 365. So in your personal space and in all your team spaces. So think of OneDrive as not only a place for personal files, but an app that gives you a connection to all of your files. So I think that explanation works pretty well for most people, but let's talk a little bit more about why would you put content in a team site as opposed to just putting them in a shared folder in OneDrive? First, files are shared from the start. So every time you put a file in OneDrive, it's private, you have to share it with the right people. When you create a team site, you give it a list of members, you give it a list of owners, and then you're sort of done. And then everything that you put in that team site, and in fact, everything that you put in the group associated with that team site is shared with that list of people. So it's a central membership concept that applies to not just files, but everything in the Office 365 productivity ecosystem. And so when you're coming into a team site, a new member to a team site, you get full context. So that's not just the stuff in the team site, but it's the conversations in Outlook. It's the conversations in Teams. It's the tasks in Planner. We're going to take a look at all that stuff. And so by having a team site, you're creating a broad productivity context, a collaborative context that people coming in can come in and see what this group of people is all about, what this team is trying to achieve. Policy, lifecycle, structure, and process. So every file in Office 365 can be classified, which determines who can see it, the data retention, what devices can see it. You saw some of that stuff in the keynote. Cool thing about team sites is that team sites themselves can be classified. So you classify a team site, and then that affects everything. In fact, the group is classified, and then that affects the data management around everything in that group, including the team site. Lifecycle. This is a really important aspect of personal files versus team files. When a file's in OneDrive, it's tied to me as the person. When a file's in a team site, it's tied to that team. So when the team it goes away when the team is deleted, that file is deleted. That's a key difference between files in the personal space versus the team space. Finally, structure and process. That's always been my favorite area of SharePoint. Really, I've spent a lot of time on lists and libraries in my career. SharePoint's at its best when you're using metadata, custom views, flows, stringing things together with custom processes. We're going to see a bunch of that cool stuff today. And finally, there's Office 365 group collaboration tools. So think of team sites as the content services behind productivity in Office 365. So again, the group at the center. A group is a list of members, and it's a policy. And it has ownership over a bunch of different objects in Office 365. Outlook for email, Teams for chats, and SharePoint for content, Yammer for conversations, and Planner for tasks. Think of SharePoint as not just a destination, but a content services that provide, or a set of content services that provides content for all those different collaborative workloads. So that's a bunch of words about what team sites are. Ethan, what have we learned about usage of team sites in the service?
Absolutely. So thanks, Lincoln. One of my favorite things about my current role running the data science team and running SharePoint Online as a service is we get this huge opportunity to study in an anonymized way how our customers are actually getting value out of the product. So I've heard many times in my time on SharePoint, it's this amazing tool, it's this Swiss Army knife, there's so many things I could do first, second, or third, but what actually matters? And so I want to get into that for a little bit. I took the title of this slide from the Agile Manifesto for people who remember it. SharePoint, honestly, in a lot of ways, was a little bit ahead of, or at least current with its time on this when we talked about things like self-service site creation and how really it's such a powerful thing when you give teams tools to self-organize. That said, not every team site that gets created, not everyone who goes to the UI and clicks the new site button and gives it a name and an icon, it turns out that may not actually entirely be enough to create successful group collaboration. And in fact, before I get into some of the details and some of the stats, I quickly want to do a straw poll of the audience. Raise your hand if you've ever made a team site before for a group of people who you're hoping to work together, and around a week or so later, you found that everyone's still emailing around or using a file share for the things that they're supposed to be putting in the site you just made. All right, I'm going to call that like...
Love the honesty.
Yeah, love it. I'm going to call it about 80%. And so it turns out, to walk you through a couple of statistics that led to all the insights in this deck, we see the same thing in the service as well. So not every team site becomes healthy. When I say healthy, for those who want to poke at the numbers later, I'm going to use a really simple definition of a healthy team site. If 2 or more users are contributing to the site in a given week, that is sort of our minimum threshold for healthy, right? 2 people adding, editing, commenting, what have you. And it turns out, when I asked about a week, that wasn't random. It turns out that from all the analyses we've done, the usage of a site in the first week of its existence is actually a great predictor of whether collaboration is going to take hold there over time. In fact, for anyone who's willing to venture a guess, let's see. Anyone want to venture a guess? Let's see. Since I told you about 80% of people here have made a team site that hasn't taken off, what percent of all new team sites in SharePoint Online end up being healthy after their first week? I heard 20.
I heard
Anyone
20.
else?
Come on.
30?
30? It's 50% more.
12. All right. I heard things ranging from 12 to 30, which is interesting. The crowd is actually averaging pretty well. 21% of all sites end up being healthy after their first week.
Wait, did you actually say 21? Oh,
Wow.
Here's an invisible prize.
We need a prize. I didn't.
You're quoting Bugs Bunny. Well, we're not. Totally not.
Oh, I should have used that meme. All right. Thank you. All right. But we're going to show you 7 habits of highly effective sites. And it turns out that when we find sites that do 1 or more of those things, the number shoots all the way up in our studies to 59%. So again, 3x improvement, roughly. And for those of you who are thinking, hey, that's not 100, I want guaranteed success, no measurement's perfect. We've definitely seen sites, for example, some of our sites around Ignite Prep, where everyone dumped their decks this week, and we may not go edit them next week. So certainly we're not trying to say that there's exact certainty or precision, but the point is we see consistently over and over across companies, across organizational sizes, certain patterns that when they're used just seem to lead to more and more team sites becoming successful hubs of collaboration the way that we think their owners intended and hoped for. So without further ado, let's start showing how to do some of this. So if you want to build a healthy site, let me talk to you briefly about our demo site. Thanks, Lincoln. So first and foremost, this is a team site that we've made. It's pretty new. I do want to talk about a couple of cool things about it for people who haven't had a chance to go slowly through some of the demos yet. This group already, it's mentioning here that the group is private, so the visibility status is really clear. That's a choice that I made when I created the site. You've got this really nice face pile of the users who are involved in the site already. And we've already got an activity feed because I preloaded a few documents in place. That activity feed to go to Lincoln's point are on the team site and its services. There's documents, there's mail that's going out to this group. So already out of the box, we've done a lot of things to try to help make this site productive. But the single biggest thing you could imagine, if your goal is to get multiple people contributing to the site, step one might be contribute to the site. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got a few documents right here, and I can drag and drop upload these directly into my site. So as you can see, we're uploading items, goes in right away. And now that I've got that, the next step, of course, would be to get other people to contribute as well. So there are a ton of great ways that you can do this. For those of you who've been to a few SharePoint sessions, you may have seen a few already. I'm going to go with one of my personal favorites, which is I am going to go into this document, and I'm going to @mention Lincoln, who's playing the role of Grady Archie today, so thanks, Lincoln. Anytime. He's really leaned into the role. I think it's fantastic. I'm going to go in and add a comment. OK, hang on. New comment. Let's see, Grady. Not sure about, oh, wait. GR, it is GR. All right. There we go. All right, Grady, not sure about the color scheme. I'm Canadian, so I will spell color scheme correctly.
Do you?
All right, so adding comments is one great way. Lincoln's going to show you in a minute what Grady's experience is like. And of course, we've got some other options as well. Certainly, for those of you who've seen it, there's a bunch of terrific innovations in the sharing UI. I could type Grady's name. I could send it to him that way. But one I want to mention that I don't know if it's gotten enough credit in some of the talks yet. I want to talk about flows. So right here within the library menu, I can use this built-in request sign-off flow. And this is a built-in flow that we've got in place, leverages all the power of flow, but sort of a zero configuration out-of-the-box option, to just do the really fundamental task that we've gotten from so much user feedback about. I just want to confirm that someone has signed off on this document before it goes to the next stage of its life. So with that, I'll start a flow. I'm going to add Grady again. There we go. Say, please sign off on the color scheme if you arse that into it. You can run the flow. All right. With that, Lincoln?
Well,
sorry, Grady.
Thank you. Well, I see Ethan furiously typing over there. That can only mean one thing. He's creating work for me. Sure enough, here I am in my inbox. Oop, it's filling up with stuff from Alan DeYoung. I got a notification that I'm being @mentioned. I got a notification that I need to approve this budget projection. And you see here, he started that request sign-off flow. Once this mail loads, let's not wait for the mail to load. Let's just go straight to SharePoint. So Ethan keeps sending me mentions to files in this site. I'm getting the gist, hey, there's going to be some action happening here. The first thing that I always do when I start getting requests from team members to go and work in a team site, I go and I hit sync. We actually have a lot of data in the service that indicates people that sync sites are a lot more likely to come back, a lot more likely to engage with the files inside. And that makes sense because it makes it so easy to get to those files. So I click sync, and you see here just a feature that we love to talk about at every opportunity. We see here this highly ambitious site syncing all those files Ethan just uploaded. You see this cloud icon here indicates that the file is actually living in the service. It hasn't actually been brought down to the local machine here. That's our files on demand feature. You see more and more files coming in as Ethan continues to do work. Really, the way that your users should think about files on demand is they should sync any team site that they're working in. They never need to worry about whether their hard drive is going to fill up, because files on demand puts the files right here, but it keeps them in the cloud until you actually double-click one and you actually decide to do work on it. So tell your users, most effective team site users, sync all the libraries, click sync on every library that they want to work in. So Ethan's doing a great job adding files to this library, but I'm a SharePoint geek. It's time to put my SharePoint geek hat on. I'm in my favorite place, which is the modern document library. And I'm going to show you how to turn this document library into a real surface for productivity, getting work done. The first thing that I'm going to do is add some metadata. And you see here, do you see, as I'm working in this library, you see new files continuously appearing. You no longer have to hit refresh to see changes your team is making. So I get the sense that work is really getting done here. New files are appearing all the time. Inevitably, that's going to be work on my plate. How exciting. I created some columns before the session, just like a cooking show. I'm just going to go ahead and show them here. Due date, requires sign-off. And just for the purposes of the demo, and actually to get work done, I'm going to just go ahead and start populating some metadata here. I'm just going to select a bunch of files, and I'm going to use our cool bulk metadata tagging feature. I'm going to set due date for some of these over here. And this is cool, because Ethan and I were both working at the same time, both happy metadata editing soldiers here. Set some due dates, set some more due dates over here. This will all be done soon. Great. All right. I've set a bunch of metadata status. You see a bunch of these items are going to pending. Ethan must be starting new request sign-off workflows. Boy, I can't wait to check my inbox. All right, this is looking pretty good. But I think we can add a little bit of color here. Actually, I need to require sign-off one more time here. Okay. So let's add some color to the list. Let me ask a question. Who here has applied a column format before? Who's used the column formatting feature? All right, yeah, some exciting hands. So who here loves composing JSON? Who here loves JSON? You guys don't count, come on. All right, yeah, you right there. I knew you liked JSON. I could tell, I could see it on your face. Well, not everybody is as cool as we are. Some people don't like writing JSON. And so for those people, we've given column formatting a little bit of a fresh face. So I can go to this require sign-off column. I can click format this column. And instead of composing JSON, I can just click a couple times. I can say, well, if it's yes, I want them to be green. I want a little bit of a brighter shade of green. No, I think red is pretty good for no. Okay, just like that. Actually, no, I don't need to show any color. No just means neutral. Okay, so I've drawn attention to files that require a sign-off. I can also do this for date fields. So if I go format this column on due date, I'm just going to go ahead and say, if it's, I'm going to do no color for present day, for after present day, but if the due date is before present day, those are the ones I need to call attention to. I'm going to make those red. So great. I have brought attention to files that are particularly important, pending action in this library with just a few clicks. I'm going to do a few more things here. Some good old sorting. What's a library without sorting? So I'm going to put Z to A, so the pending stuff is up top. This is particularly important, so I'm going to drag and drop this over here. That's right, drag and drop column order. Who likes it? Yeah, thank you. Yes. Something that we've been asked for a lot is the ability to resize columns. Resize columns now stick with you, so actually I'm resizing it. Every time I come back to this list, due date is going to be really big. But if I want due date to be big for everybody, then I can just go ahead and save a view. I'm going to save this as productivity view. I can't spell. I'm just going to say P view because I'm not going to try to spell productivity on stage. That's like deep science. Great. Save that view, and I'm going to make it the default. And just like that, now everybody who comes back to this library, they're going to get this view with these column widths, these colors, just as easy as that. So, sure. All right, I want to please my truest fans. There's a bunch of people who said they like JSON, so guess what? We're going to do some JSON, all right? Last year, we launched that column formatting feature. Now we have something called view formatting. So instead of just applying formats to individual column cells, I can apply them to entire views. So I can go under the view dropdown, click Format Current View, and without getting too deep in the JSON, this is just some JSON that basically describes the field values that should be laid out in my view and sort of the CSS and HTML around those field values. You can see there's some if statements here, there's some flow IDs. We don't have time to get too deep into that, but this is pretty influenced by our documentation. If I just paste that in here, hit preview, oh, hey, wow, that's really great. And that's my view now. So buttons to do key things like edit properties, clear, UI that tells me when things are pending, and even a button that launches the request sign-off flow. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to leave this view how it is. This is my default view in the library now. Looks pretty good. So one more thing. So Ethan's been uploading files from his desktop. That's great, but sometimes you want to just create files right inside the library. So if I click New, this is just sort of the out-of-the-box options. I want to focus my team. I want to get people creating documents from the right templates. So a brand new feature here is this ability to customize the new menu. I can click Add Template, and I can pick something from my hard drive here, RFP. That's my RFP template. And it's going to upload that. And great, now that RFP is under the new menu. So anyone who comes here to create a document sees this RFP. That's not enough. I actually don't want people creating blank Word documents. Everybody's creating RFPs in this library. So I can go and hide, maybe I need PowerPoint. I don't need forms. And I want to move this, drag and drop. Love drag and drop. And save. And just as easy as that, I've customized, I've focused people on the types of files they should create in this library. I didn't have to be a PhD in content types. In fact, I didn't do anything with content types here. But rest assured, if you are a fan of content types like me, those are still in the background. I didn't show you the flow, but any of these templates I upload to the new menu here, you can associate them with an existing content type. So all your content types still work. The model is, well, you can have content types, and now you can have more than one template per content type if the use case demands it. So great. I think I'm pretty happy with my document library. Ethan's been dumping files in, and I feel like I've made a productivity surface out of it. So let's go back to slides, recap what we just saw. Yeah, back to the deck. So these are our 7 habits. Great. First one was upload and share team files. Ethan mentioned it. The single biggest indicator, if your goal is to build a healthy team site, the single biggest indicator is, did you have 2 or more people editing files within the first week? The single best indicator that indicates that a team site's going to live and is going to be useful to people past the first week. Ethan showed you some of our many ways to share files. You can @mention inside Office. You can request sign-off with an out-of-the-box flow. And you can use our great link-based sharing dialog. And a tip I like to throw in, this isn't always applicable, but I really like to tell people, use public groups when you can. Public groups are really a low friction enabler. A low friction enabler, sure, that makes sense. Everything gets easier when it's a public group. Anybody in your organization can come in and see anything. Clearly, that's not appropriate for all team sites or all projects, but I like to think it through. Like, do I really, is a bad thing going to happen if someone outside the team comes in and checks out the files? More than often or not, that's not the case. So I like to recommend use public groups whenever you can. Finally, well, not finally, number 2, work smart with lightweight structure and process. So use metadata to drive findability, process on content, customize views, save views, drag and drop, resize, make things pretty. We love pretty document libraries. We hope you make yours pretty. And finally, don't be afraid of custom document templates. You don't have to use content types anymore. You still can, but now it's easy enough for anybody to come in and customize the templates that are available. All right, Ethan, well, I've been getting some serious work done here. What have you been doing?
Supervising. But now that we, mostly you, Grady, have done all this great work, one of the greatest things we can do, and again, if you think of this especially through the lens of getting my site to be healthy, is making sure people know it exists. And so one great capability we've seen for this is the news capabilities of team sites. So for those who've seen before, there's a lot of ways you can describe how great news is as a feature. For those of you familiar with publishing and pages, a lot of the concepts will feel familiar. The thing I'll say for the purposes of massively oversimplifying, because we probably all had a long day, in many ways you can think of the news feature with regards to your team site as sort of announcements on steroids. And so one great use case that's totally applicable to sites early in their life that can draw people in is just giving people an update on the work the team has been doing. So let me do that now. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to make a new page announcing our expansion. I will try to type and spell quickly, so we'll see how that goes. There's a ton of capabilities here. We saw, for those of you who were in Jeff's keynote yesterday, you've seen some of them. So I'm just going to add a layout here. I'm going to do a multi-column layout to show some of the flexibility that we have. I'm going to pick a file viewer, and we're going to view one of the files that we've got in place already. So let's take that campaign results one, even though I don't think Grady's updated the template to my liking, but at least it's in there. I'm going to add some text here. So again, really, for those of you familiar with pages and web parts from many, many years ago, the speed and flexibility here is terrific. Copy paste, of course, is just going to work. Wait for it. It's going to be great. All right. One more chance for copy paste. Let's see. There we go. Copy paste just works. And sure enough, down below, let me show a couple of other capabilities. So to add down at the bottom, one web part that, again, when you think of announcing your team and getting people involved, people often enjoy attention and being mentioned. So I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to add our new people part and quickly just say, thanks to the launch team. I'm going to add Grady for all of his hard work. Adam, because he sat in the second row. And with that, I can quickly hit publish and go. And so once I do this, you can see the news gets really prominent place on the top of the site. As you add news content, more and more will roll in. And that's one great tool. But one thing you might be thinking is that this is great for people who've come to my site already, but I want to expand the reach of my site. I want to pull people in. I want to make sure that my site is recognized as one of the authoritative places to go for this topic. And so one great capability for that is hubs. So what I'm going to do now is associate my highly ambitious site for our project to the sales hub to which it belongs. So I can quickly and easily do that. Just go to site information, pick the sales hub, hit save. And what you'll see almost immediately is a bunch of the capabilities of hubs. So first and foremost, you can see that the branding of the site has changed. I've inherited the navigation of the hub itself. So all these different sites in the header that came on, again, just with one click. And most importantly, once my search index updates the site, if I go to the hub itself, there's an aggregated news feed. So by joining a hub, it's a great way for you to advertise the existence of your site. So announce your site, announce what you've done, publish it here. Again, brings more people in, gets more people viewing, and that's sort of the first step to getting them on to contribute. Grady, anything you'd like to add since you're playing with your phone?
Well, I mean, it's 5 p.m. My phone's ringing off the hook. You know what that means. That's right, news posts. Let me show you what the notification area for a SharePoint fan looks like. That's right, all news posts all day. The thing I want you to take away, I believe the SharePoint mobile app is an essential sidearm for every single SharePoint user. Everybody here should have the SharePoint app installed. And it's not because SharePoint on the phone is better for every use case of SharePoint, but it's because it's really focused on a few different things. First is news. And so second he posted that news, I authentically saw my phone ring, I picked it up. I think the SharePoint app is really the best way to catch up on news across the organization. You see it's listing news according to what hub it's in, and when I tap on a news post, you get a great responsive view. It's the same as on the desktop, but really rendered to look great in the mobile form factor. So this one's looking good. I'm just going to save this one for later. So news, great on the SharePoint mobile app. Second thing that's great on the SharePoint mobile app is just files on the go. Brain dead simple, right? And that's with this Me tab. So I click Me, and I can see recent files that I've edited, and I can also see saved files. So this is a really useful mechanism for just quickly getting back to the files that you're working on. Really simple bookmark icon. This resonates really well with end users. Everybody understands you click the bookmark icon, then you can come back to this Save tab, pull up this file later. Finally, there's this Find tab. So the Find tab is sort of about giving you quick access to everything else that's not news and stuff you've opened and saved. And it's really using the power of search to put everything else at your fingertips. So when I click search here, you can see not only things that you've opened recently, but you see trending searches. And you know, this is a moment when I realized I was in the right place in my life when the trending searches were Contoso Landing's Executive Corner and Ribeye. If you know me, that's actually quite remarkable. But yeah, like I really feel at home in Contoso. I can see that my colleagues are searching for key stakeholders, I suppose. And so this, this search box gives you not only access to sites, files, but I can actually search for Alan. That's Ethan in this demo. I can tap on a person. I can get his card, who he reports to, key files, email. And so this, like, I actually think that's the second most common way that I use the app personally, is I use it to look up people, look up what they've been doing. It's really light and fast. That's the Home tab of the application, Find, type in people. Really immediate value is apparent to anybody who picks this app for the first time. Of course, all my sites are here. I can tap on highly effective site here. That's what we're building. And I can see the same homepage that I would see if I'm on my desktop, but fit well for the mobile form factor. I can see tasks. I can see activity. And new feature of the app that's really cool, something that we got asked for a lot, is just the ability to view documents without having to switch over to the OneDrive app. So viewing all the files in a team site, lightning fast, super cool. Everybody should be using the SharePoint mobile app. So let's recap those.
Oh,
Go ahead.
absolutely. So we talked a bit about news and the lift that it can have. And again, the combination of publishing news and joining yourself to a hub is just a huge distribution mechanism to a site. Again, I showed the aggregate statistics before, but we've seen huge uplift. And honestly, it's also not a feature that's entirely as in use yet as some of the things that we've seen. So there's an early mover advantage, frankly, to the people we've seen taking advantage of this stuff.
And mobile, we showed you mobile. People actually love our app, and we know that a couple ways. First of all, we have great ratings on all platforms, 4+ stars. And getting back into the data, objectively, we see people who install the app are 50% more likely to be weekly SharePoint users. And correlation, causation. Takeaway that you should take away from this is you should evangelize use of this app if you want SharePoint to catch on in your organization, because it's going to do nothing but help. I think it's an essential app for all SharePoint users. It's the best way to catch up on news, fastest way to get to your stuff, and to search for those important stakeholders in your organization. Great. So let's do some really cool stuff. Switch back over to demo here. It's time to get truly geeky here. So I'm 7. Mm-hmm. Okay. So one thing that's been bugging me about this team site is it's still got the default homepage. Come on. The SharePoint team site homepage is really born to be customized. And we do a lot of work tuning the out-of-the-box homepage to be efficient and engaging for people, and we think we've done a pretty good job. But seriously, the best way to use a team site is to go and customize the homepage. And we've made it easier than ever before. So columns are great, but the only time I really want to see columns is when I'm in Greece. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to create a one-column layout, and one of the coolest parts of working in a group-connected site is Planner. Planner is the best way to manage tasks. So I'm going to laboriously scroll down to the P's, add Planner, and I can see, well, people are actually starting to use tasks. There's a couple of buckets here. There's one sort of sad, lonely task, and so great. I have Planner at the top of my site. And this really cool, snazzy file view that I created that I'm so proud of. Boy, I think that should be second place here. Let's put that right under Planner. And we can just leave the rest be. That's good. What matters is that I've personalized the site. I've made it my own. And I've focused work on critical stuff and files. That's really the purpose of the site, is to get work done on files. So I'm happy with that. Second thing I want to talk about is teams. So one thing I want to emphasize, and maybe you already know this, but team sites, it's not a choice. Teams and team sites are better together. So I've actually already connected this site to a team. Let's see how that happens. I actually have a site here called Digitally Transforming, and maybe you've seen this before. Actually, I have to go and copy something out of I need to copy, because this is something that is not fully rolled out yet. But it's something we are in the process of rolling out. So if you are one of the lucky ones, if you've gone to a team site and you have seen this thing in the lower left that's going to load, which is the ability to connect a SharePoint team site to a team. So I can click this Create Team, and what that's going to do is it's going to create a new team. It's going to associate it with my group. It's going to use the same group membership as the group object, and I will now have a team for my team site. So I can go there and go to the team, and actually I'm going to switch back to the one that I was working on, and what that Teamify link does is it gives you a team link in the left nav, so anybody can quickly go to the Teams channel, and it's great. I can start conversations, hey Ethan, and we can start getting work done that way. But, everybody understands this Teams UI. The real thing that I want to emphasize here is that a lot of end users love working in this environment. They love collaborating in teams. And Teams is really a fantastic way to get to all your SharePoint content through this tab model. So I can click Add a Tab, I can click SharePoint, and right away I can really quickly, that home page that I was so proud of with no columns, I can go and embed that in a tab. And so this is my full team site, full fidelity, everything's right here. I can manage tasks, I can open documents, and I can do that all from within the Teams UI. And we love that. We think if Teams is catching on in your organization, make full advantage of these tabs to keep people, give them good access to the content that they need. So I can also just go ahead and embed my, my document library too. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, pick documents. And you saw this in the keynote too. You saw that embedded team site within Teams. In the keynote, you saw the most recent code that actually showed the customized view. I don't have that right now, but that view customized, the cool multi-line view that you saw should be embedded here, but my demo environment is not cooperating with me right now. So this is Teams. It's a little bit, there's a couple things that are happening already, but it's a little bit lonely. And you also saw on my home page, I don't really have a ton of tasks being created. Let's go back to that site. So the Teams is a little bit empty. The task board is a little bit empty, but what we do have is people editing files and editing metadata. So I'm going to show you how we can actually amplify the impact of setting metadata and unleash a flurry of activity across the suite. So I'm going to go to Flow. I'm going to see my flows. And before this session, I created a really cool flow, create task when approved. And this flow exemplifies a really cool pattern that I reuse over and over again. And it's triggered off of this when a file is created or modified. And so without going too deep into all the steps here, what this does is it's watching my document library, and it's watching to see when the request sign-off field is equal to approved. And so when somebody goes and approves a document, it goes and it posts a message to Teams, and it goes and creates a task and planner. And so people then are incentivized to populate metadata. All you do is you fill out a field value, and then a bunch of stuff happens. So let's watch that in action. Let's go back, and we're going to turn that flow on. And then I'm going to go back to my inbox, and I'm going to finally do the work that Ethan asked me to do in the very beginning. He asked me to approve. And so, I mean, I love setting SharePoint metadata, but I also love staying in Outlook. So I'm going to go and approve here. Yes. Come on, submit. The submit button is nervous. Let's try this one, because I got a bunch of them. Geez, Ethan, how many things did you request sign off?
You have a lot of work to do.
Look, this one's working. The first one was nervous. But that's fine. This is why we have redundancy. Great, I just approved a couple documents, and so what's going to happen now is not only that metadata is going to get set, but now Flow is going to be working on my behalf in the background. We can go home here, and what we can see is as that flow executes, what it's going to do, see, it's already starting to create tasks in my ready for delivery column, and if I go back to the Teams channel, it's going to see that Flow is going to be creating right here. It says tutorial, lesson plan 3 is approved. Link to the document. This kicks off collaboration. Let's go, guys. So all I did was click a button in email, created a chat for me. People are working in this, created a task for me. All sorts of things happened, really connecting the suite together, core to success here. Does that look cool? Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah. Okay. So let's recap those. Put a team on it. So Teams, team sites, not a choice, better together. A lot of people find a lot of traction in Teams. It's a great way to access SharePoint content, use tabs. If you see your users using Teams a lot, don't make them run separate errands to the browser to fetch their content. Teach them how to use tabs and keep all of their content at their fingertips. And you know, not every team is going to really need Teams. Some teams are a little bit more email heavy, some are a little bit more real-time collaboration heavy, some use this for purpose A and this for purpose B, both at the same time. Really, you know, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. Just make use of the tools as are appropriate for the individual group of people that you're working with.
And in fact, even to add, everything we've seen from the data we've looked at shows that teams that collaborate across multiple endpoints actually have better success as well. So the question of which one should I push people towards to get the most success, the answer is yes, all of them. Wherever people want to live, it all seems to help so far.
And finally, connect the whole suite together. So best team sites don't do it all alone. They get by with the help from their group. They use flow, they incentivize metadata population, and they build a front door that's really appropriate for the team. So they customize their homepage with the stuff that people really need to focus on, with the stuff that's important for that team. We just gave them a whole lot, didn't we, Ethan?
Really
This is quite a recap. Like, what are we going to do with all these tips? We could publish a book.
It is, and that would have been a great order of business, except we've already raced ahead and helped out with the product. This is, of course, firstly, only 6 habits, and secondly, this would normally be the point in the talk where everyone would take out their phones, take a picture, force themselves to memorize these steps, wonder what happened. But we're actually going to do one better than that. It turns out that
there's a 7th habit.
There is a 7th habit, which is really just follow the cues that we've built into the product for you. So throughout this demo, up at the top right, we've had this megaphone called Next Steps that I haven't mentioned. I wasn't planning to until now. This is actually the tips and tricks framework that we've provided, where we've built into the product a little bit of self-guidance along the way. All of these things are informed by the things that we've been showing you today, by the analysis that we've done behind them. And so they actually point out a whole bunch of steps that we've talked about, uploading a file, inviting your team. And we don't show you 7 at once, so there's a little bit of an iterativeness to it. But the point is, again, the 7th habit is really just follow the cues that we've got.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning. Like, the tips that he showed, this is just the beginning of what we're calling our tips and tricks framework. We're going to keep watching and observing user actions that actually increase the success of team sites. We're going to be plumbing them into that UI. I bet a lot of you are also going to ask to be able to customize that experience. We're going to be thinking about that as well, right? And so what's best for your organization, what you want people to be doing in SharePoint, we think you should have some say over that. But initially, this is going to be informed by data, and it's really going to be trying to help users who are trying to figure out this team site stuff for the first time. What do they do first? What do they do second? What do they do third? What's going to drive really effective collaboration? And so that's tips and tricks.
Absolutely. And so with that, now if you want to have a slide to take a picture of, or I'm sure the slides will be posted, all 7 habits with a quick reminder of where you can find them in the product with our Next Steps tips and trick framework.
That's right.
So with that, since we're almost at time, Lincoln, anything else you want to mention about sessions people should check out?
There is so much stuff in team sites that I did not have a chance to talk about. And so I've given you a cool calendar for the rest of your week, or maybe just Wednesday and Thursday. If you want to see more super geeky, super cool team site stuff, here are some sessions to go to. The no-code solution, you're going to learn a lot more about view formatting, column formatting, and flows. Super fantastic sessions, super geeky in a good way. What's new and what's coming to SharePoint lists? There's a ton I didn't talk about in the realm of lists. And so if you're a list fan, you want to go deep. Ben here is pumping his fists. He's going to be there. It's going to be great. I encourage you to go to that session. Couple more there around branding, site scripts, and then finally on flow. So if you want to go even deeper than we went today, here's where you should be paying attention to these sessions.
Yeah, so thanks so much everyone for coming. We're happy to hang out for Q&A, even past the deadline if other people want to stay here instead of going to their first happy hour. If you liked the session, please do evaluate it. If you didn't like it, please come tell us what we could have done better. We greatly appreciate it. And thanks again for everyone. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yep, thanks.